Another video on the Lord of the Rings of Power, the debacle that is this show. This all came in basically a Vanity Fair article where they're trying to defend the show. They're running PR. They're really running cover. They're trying to sort it all out, trying to get people back on side, because I think that they genuinely thought this would be a slam dunk. And I think that makes sense by the amount of money they've spent on it, because it's just insane sums of money. But anyway, the showrunners have come out. Bezos has called up, his buddies over at Vanity Fair. Do a piece, please. Showrunners, get on it, sort it all out. And this is the end result. They're revealing what 4 stories they're adapting. We already know that they don't have the rights to basically anything else, and that they are just going off on one, changing it up left, right, and centre. So the Lord of the Rings of Power showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay recently detailed the 4 stories they plan on adapting for their show. So in a new Vanity Fair article, again attempting to defend the show from its growing amount of critics, because of which there are a lot, and rightly so. And none of this helps, by the way. Literally none of these articles help. But the showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay explain the 4 major stories that they're adapting for their show. First, they detailed the show will begin with the forging of the rings, McKay explains. We're going back thousands of years to when the party was in full swing. That's right, ladies and gents. Fist bumping parties. It's just pounding. He adds, we're going to see the elf capital of Lindon, where Elrond is a young, up-and-coming operator within the political scene of the High Elves during their glory days. Alright then, okay. And as part of this story, they will show Elrond's evolution. Payne states, Elrond, we know from the Third Age, has a pretty bleak view on humans. He says men are weak because he's seen the foibles of humankind. Oh yeah, and how are they going to explain that then? In some ways, the Third Age is almost post-apocalyptic Middle-earth. The elves have one foot out the door. We're going to watch as Elrond goes from optimistic to a bit more world-weary. Okay, yeah, good. Fine, I guess. Yeah. The second story will be the rise of Sauron himself, when he was a physical villain. Okay. So, are we going to see, really awful, cheap armor that's not going to be reminiscent of this in any way, shape, or form? Probably. Vanity Fair explains that this part of the story will be aligned with Galadriel's story, but we know that they're making that up as they go along anyway, so they're going to make this up as well, are they? He may be hiding in plain sight, or he may be yet to come, but Galadriel's search for him takes her, and eventually the strange human she's encountered, Halbrand, all over the map. Please, fucking God, don't let it be Halbrand. Can you imagine, right? I can imagine this. They have the weird human that Galadriel encounters. They get it off because apparently they're going to have sex in the show. And then, it turns out it's Sauron. Ha ha ha, duped Galadriel. I can genuinely believe that that's something that they're going to do. Anyway, next, they will tell the story of the rise and fall of the island kingdom of Numenor. And as part of this story, they will follow a young Isildur, the man who cut the One Ring from Sauron's hand and defeated him before succumbing to the temptations of the One Ring that resulted in his death at the hand of a band of orcs. Which we see, here. I remember this was so fantastic to watch. So bloody good, especially on the big screen. McKay provides some brief details. You meet Isildur, and he's like Michael Corleone. He's the young member of the family who has optimism and immaturity. Trace that guy to the tragic final decision rather than the mistake of a fool. Right. Isildur's story will also run into the 4th major arc, which is the last alliance of elves and men and their war against Sauron. It almost sounds like they're trying to do like a 4-season arc. Doesn't it? It does to me. As for the first season, McKay says it's basically an introduction to the show. He explains, we didn't want to do a villain-centric thing. Oh, right. We wanted it to be about introducing these worlds and the people who dwell in them and the major heroes and characters, some of whom you know and some of whom are new, most of them new. Season 2, we go a little bit deeper into the lore that you've made up and the stories people have been waiting to hear. Right, I see. Okay. Look at the bloody cinematography for Peter Jackson's films were just insane. when I read articles like this, it makes me appreciate them even more. While they reveal there are the 4 major stories they plan on covering in the show, it's unclear how they will adapt them, as the showrunners have revealed they don't have the rights. So how are you going to do it then? Oh, that's right, they're going to make it up. Payne revealed, we have the rights solely to the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, the Return of the King, and the Appendices, and the Hobbit. And that's it. We don't have the rights to the Silmarillion, Unfinished Tales, the History of Middle-earth, or any of those other books. Right. Good work, guys. Good work. Give you a round of applause. Given they don't have the rights to these books, McKay explained how they're adapting them. And this, because I've done a video on this already, I just think this is shockingly bad. There's a version of everything we need for the Second Age in the books that we have the rights to. As long as we're painting within those lines and not egregiously contradicting something we don't have the rights to, then there's a lot of leeway and room to dramatise and tell some of the best stories that Tolkien ever came up with. Right. I mean, you're going way off script already. So why would I ever think that that's going to be the case now? Oh, it's so strange. So, I mean, there you have it. Like, that's the stories that they're adapting, right? That's the stories that they're adapting. It sounds like they want to do a 4-season arc. You know, especially with like season 1. Now, you know, it's with all these 4 stories, that does sound like it. But then, I mean, Elrond. What are they doing with Elrond as well? Like, god damn it. Seriously. Oh, what a shame. And the rise. The rise of Sauron is an interesting one. But I don't think they're going to do it justice here. I think that's going to be... I mean, this is all guesswork, isn't it? But, you know, when I look at the first look announcement of the Warner Brothers Lord of the Rings anime, they've got loads of people, creative and costume and, you know, art departments back from Peter Jackson stuff. You know, people that wrote it, doing the script writing and the show running and things like that. You know, and then you've got major players in the anime space as well. And they just seem to be treating it with a lot more respect. This is like, oh, well, we're just going to, you know, just spaff up the wall and see what sticks. And then we'll just go with that. Why not? Like, seriously. Mental. But anyway, ladies and gents, what do you guys think? Do you think any of these 4 stories that they're looking to do are going to be good? Do we have any fans, potentially, of the show? You know, even as what we've seen. Let me know down below in the comments, I guess. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, though, guys. Take care.